Shalom, everyone. I hope everyone had a good week. This coming Shabbos, we're reading the Parsha of Shalach, dealing with the story of the Meraglim, the spies that Moshe sent into the land of Israel, uh, a generation or two after the exodus from Egypt, just before the Jewish people are about to enter the land of Israel. They sent spies in to check it out to see what was there, if it was fortified, if the people were going to be dangerous, if the Jewish people were going to be able to conquer it or not. 12 spies went into the land of Israel. At the end, 10 of them came back with very bad news. There are giants who live there, and the fruit is huge, enormous. It took two people to carry a cluster of grapes, and the cities were fortified very strong, and there was no way that the Jewish people were going to be able to conquer it. And as a result of that, the Jewish people cried and cried. That night was Tisha B'Av. It was the ninth of Av. God said, just as you have no reason to cry, everything will be all right, everything will be fine. So I will give you a cause to cry about, and that was the destruction of the temples and all the tragedies that took place in Jewish history that we mourn on Tisha B'Av on the ninth of Av for. Two of the spies came back actually with good news. They said, yes, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. And yes, the people there are strong and powerful, but we will be able, with God's help, to conquer it. Nothing to worry about. Who are they? Joshua, and Caleb, who were able to come back with good news. And as a result of this, Joshua and Caleb were merited to come into the land of Israel, while the other spies, together with the rest of the Jewish people, and the Dor HaMidbar, the generation of the desert, were destined to die in the Midbar, die in the desert, and not see the land of Israel. So we see what happens when we go against God's wishes and God's plan, that everything will be all right, everything will work out okay. The question comes out, why did these spies think that we couldn't conquer the land of Israel? We just came out of Egypt. Egypt was the most powerful civilization in the world, with tremendous armies and incredible strength and wealth and everything. And we weren't going to be able to, and we conquered them, and we aren't going to be able to conquer a bunch of nomadic tribes, the Canaanites, who are very primitive. In Israel, after all, think about it. The spies just came back from the enormous Egyptian civilization, the foremost civilization of the world, and they went into one of the lowest places, one of the most primitive areas, with some of the most basic, simple, low life people in the world. They weren't going to be able to conquer it. Of course they would. So, what were they worried about? Why did they say we weren't going to be able to conquer it? So one of the reasons perhaps given is from the verse that it says that this is the spies came back and they said they described the land as Eretz Asher Ocheles Yoshveh. It's a land that eats up its inhabitants. What does that mean? The land eats or devours its inhabitants. And there are many different commentaries about that. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says that what it means is that the spies, they didn't think we were going to have any problems conquering the land. They knew that we were powerful. They knew that we had God's blessing. What they didn't want is that they didn't want to be consumed by the land, by gashmias, by materialism, by making a living, by being so involved with crassness and material existence, of working hard and tilling the land and farming the land and all of these things. After all, in the desert, they didn't have to do any of these things. They had manna from heaven that fed them. They were all healthy. They had complete good eyesight. Everything was well. They didn't have any jobs. They traveled and They followed the fire by night and the clouds by day. And they didn't have any laundry to do. That itself would be a positive thing. And life was wonderful in the desert for them. They had perfect weather and everything. So why would they want to come into the land of Israel when life would be harsh and difficult? Why would they want to do that? The spies said, the answer is we don't want to do that. We don't want. We recognize the fact that the land eats its inhabitants, that we will be so involved in the land and making a living and toiling and working and all of these things, we're not going to be able to study Torah. We won't be able to pray. We won't be able to devote ourselves to spiritual endeavors. That is what they were concerned about. And the answer was, our job is indeed to be concerned about physical endeavors. That's the whole idea, to raise up the world and to make the world, make the land into a place of holiness, a dwelling place for God in the lower worlds. That's the whole purpose. That's what God wants from us. That's what Torah is all really about. It's not dwelling on some mountain, someplace, and meditating for the rest of your life. It's making a living, providing for your family, working hard. And during this time of the virus, the coronavirus, we've all been living in the desert. We haven't been working. We haven't been making a living. We've been just devoting ourselves to our families, to holy pursuits, to prayer and to Torah study, and just staying home and reading and relaxing. And all the stress and aggravation that comes from making a living and from being involved in the physical world really has not been part of us during this time. And I don't know about you, but it's been pretty good. It's been quiet. It's been peaceful. It's been soothing. It's been having no stress, similar to the desert. But that's not what life is all about. Our job is that when the virus subsides, we are to go back into the world and make the world into that holy place that it was meant to be. That's our whole job. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Not staying at home, not doing all the things we've been doing over these last few months, but get back into it. Raise it up. Let's make sure that the economy is better. Get out there. Start shopping, start working, start being involved in the world. That's really what we are supposed to be doing. And by the looks of things, that's the way things are starting to happen. I'm very confident that our economy will pick up and it'll be better than ever. People will start working again. They'll start shopping. They'll start getting out there again. And I think that things are going to be probably even better than ever because we're all excited to do it. We're very excited here in University City that our synagogue has started up already. We have been having services every morning in the backyard by the Sukkah Plaza. And it's been wonderful getting up and going and davening with other people. Of course, we've been wearing masks and we keep our distance from each other and we don't touch anybody or touch anything. But it's been nice to get back. It's very nice to get back. And we're looking forward to continuing it. This services, of course, on Sunday mornings are at 8 o'clock. During the week, it's at 6:30 in the morning. There's sort of short services. We finish about 7:10. During the week, it's very quick. Friday night, we are opening the synagogue finally. Services will be at 7:30 in the evening. They'll only last about an hour. And Shabbos morning, we're going to be davening at 9 o'clock. We hope to finish by 10:30 at the latest, an hour and a half. And that's it. We want to send you home. We have masks. We are social distancing. We are keeping our distance from each other. We are not serving food to begin with. And we're not encouraging you to touch any things, no mezuzahs or the Torah even, but keep our distance from each other. And God willing, when we do that, as we continue, things will improve, and eventually we will go back into the building, and life will resume as normal. So we're very excited about this coming Shabbos. We encourage you to join us if you can. Follow the rules. We posted the rules online, and we have the rules also in the shul as well. No children under 12, please. Seniors only with the recommendation of your doctor. If you're not feeling well, don't come, please. And if you're not prepared to wear a mask in synagogue, we urge you just stay home because we want to follow the rules as they're mandated by the government very, very carefully. And we know that that'll happen. Candle lighting tomorrow night in San Diego is at 7:42. And I want to wish everyone a good Shabbos. I'm looking forward to seeing you once again on Shabbos. And Shabbat Shalom.